Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Today we are here again on behalf of Griffin Publication to launch an amazing book. This time, a different book, a political drama with thrills, with adventures, with suspense, and so many things. I have sent you the book. I know you must have read, bits pieces of the book. And let me first start with our author today, Ashish Jaiman. He is a first time novelist who has always been a voracious reader, an avid watcher of political dramas, and a creative writer of fiction. Born and raised in India, he graduated from a prestigious Indian university before embarking on a successful career at Microsoft in the US. However, his lifelong passion for writing fiction finally inspired him to pursue his dream of becoming an author. Let me tell you, he is a person, you know, of technical bent of mind. He is an AI expert and he's so much into technology that I fear to speak because I'm not technologically that smart. So thank you so much, sir. And how are you feeling today, sir? Because this is your debut fiction,
Well,
Ashish, sir.
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, and thank you all who have joined, and I appreciate your company. Uh, uh, how am I feeling? I'm pretty happy and pretty excited. It really, you know, like when you're outside, it feels like so easy to write something, but when you actually put pen to the paper, write something, and I think the whole feeling of not only writing something but putting it out there with the biggest imposter syndrome that you can have because you're the first time you're writing something, you're actually trying to uh, you know you have an idea, you put it on a paper, you actually push it out there, and then you just wait and feel that people will start judging you and your writing and everything. So that's a very like kind of feeling that I've never had before. It's a very interesting mix of excitement and imposter syndrome, right? Like, hey, can I even write? Or but whatever I'm hearing, essentially some of my friends who have read the book already and given me feedback is actually validates that yes, there is a potential that I may have, which was just sitting somewhere down, which I can now bring to the world. And so I'm very elated and excited.
Thank you so much. We will talk more about you, about your book, but we are very, very honored today to have with us Dr. Manoj K. Patel. He is the principal scientist in Central Scientific Instruments Organization. He is the associate professor of Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research. So much to know about him, but we are cutting short of all the details today because when we Google his name, we will find him. He is the recipient of so many research program awards. He is the member of advisory board of so many organizations. He is a man of science, and he is an inspiration to many young scientists. Dr. Manoj, welcome. Heartfelt gratitude. You are here today. I pulled you out of your conference hall. Thank you so much for being here. I have sent you the book Machiavellian Gambit. How did you find it? I do not know if you could complete the entire book because I have just recently sent you. But I just want to know how would you motivate our author Ashish sir today, and what do you feel about his book? Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank Griffin Publication for inviting me in this book launch. The book is very interesting and it's a classy uh, political drama. Basically, it's in today's scenario in India, it is very much suiting to, you can say, it's a fiction, but somehow it is in reality. Okay. I must congratulate the author, Mr. Ashish, for such an amazing creativity, and you have put in that in creative way. So I congratulate you. I have gone through the few pages. It's almost having 22 pages or 23 three chapters. Okay. Uh, I am finding it's very interesting and intriguing. In fact, I just wonder how a technocrat like you, who was working in, still you are working, I guess, right, in Microsoft, correct? Okay. So you are still working in Microsoft, and how you became author to write such kind of dramatic, which is thrilled, full of suspense, entertainment, and somewhere the truth, how power can make the people blind. Okay, and somehow families fight, no son, no mother, nothing. If power, you have power, especially in politics, nothing matters. Okay, so this is the politics about. I am a man of science R&D. I am, my writings are papers, patents, and all. Of course, it will take me many years to write such a book. Okay, so my writings are totally on scientific circle. I must congratulate the author for the narration of the story. By the book, what I read about it, it seems that you are very creative and also knowledgeable. Yeah, uh, it is just like a movie. It seems I am watching every scene when I am flipping the pages of your book. It's a big book with many chapters. As I said, it's having almost 22 chapters. It will take time to read me the entire novel, but it's so interviewing. This interviewing book is both thoughtful and informative. The conversation style, the dialogue, and the description of the scene are taking me as if I am the scene, watching every move of the character. I will not say much. I don't want to take much time. I have so many authors here, so I want to listen them. This is my first experience to be in such program. I always give lecture. Of course, next month, Melissa Begley, right? She is from.
That's correct.
Yeah, you are from UK. Next month, I will be visiting London. Okay. So
No, I'm from the USA, sir.
okay, someone from UK. I have seen some.
He's not yet present, sir.
Okay, okay, not present. I have seen that poster. So I will read it for sure and review it soon, and will write something for you. At the last, heartiest congratulations to our author, Ashish Jaiman, once again for this interesting book. Of course, you, Mosmi, you are doing wonderful job, and I congratulate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, that is a question like I will put forth to Ashish sir also. Being a technocrat, how could you be so creative, and, creating such a fiction, political drama? Really, I wonder, and everybody must be having this question. Yeah. Okay. Shiju sir is here, I suppose. Shiju sir, have you joined? I can see him. Okay. Now I would love to ask Ashish sir only.
Mostly, sorry for interruption. I am here, but my personal suggestion is somebody take over this talk right now. In maybe 2 or 3 minutes, I'll just be on dice. Okay, but I'm
Right,
just
sir.
listening to whatever you people are speaking. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. So Ashish sir, just now Dr. Manoj just asked, how could a technocrat be so creative? How do you answer this?
So, creativity like does not limit what profession you are in, right? What I would rather say is, especially the industry I am in, which is evolving and so fast, innovating at the pace, you have to be creative to innovate at the pace that we are innovating, especially, for last 20 plus years, as the internet became like the basic need for everyone. You have social media, you have technology in your hands, in the phone, now AI and all that. The only way you can innovate so fast is you have to be very, very creative, right? So I would say that helps, right, to be creative. And the other thing is, especially on the political creative side, born and raised in India, everyone is so politically aware, because if you're not politically aware, you can't get anything done anyways. So, so first almost 20 plus years of my life were in India, where, from my early days of student politics into, learning, and even in the US, right? All the beauty of democracy is, and I'm one of those lucky ones who actually have lived in one of the largest democracy and the longest democracy, right? And the oldest democracy. You can understand how people may think. Politics is very, very tough business. It's not easy. And I feel like, bringing all that together in a creative way was an opportunity that I had, and I was able to actually put it together. But, everything just came together. I won't say that as being a technocrat, you can't be creative or the otherwise, right? But I'll say that I was really, really happy that I could put the things that have shaped my life, my journey, into a book, and the main storyline is politics. It could have been anything.
Right, sir. Wonderfully explained. So, with formally launch, when Shiju sir would enter our show, we have Barbara Andrew, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you so much for being here. She is a radio host. She hosts, no, you can see her hosting many shows. Basically, her shows are related to social cause and all. And let me tell you, she's from the USA, and her special mention, her book, The Kiss, won first prize for a romantic short screenplay, and her book has also has been converted to a screenplay and has won best dialogue in a short and action film festival. She is a regional director of motivational strips, the world's largest writing forum. She is uh, an American who has won Sahitya Academy Award from India, Gujarat. She has won innumerable number of awards, and the list is endless. She is there in Malaysia winning literary awards from Malaysia, literary awards from India, and almost all the countries. And her recent work, If I Could Be Like Jennifer Taylor, would be published very soon. Barbara ma'am, thank you so much. You have been hosting so many shows, and I have been fortunate enough to attend your shows. Today, you are here to launch Ashish Jaiman's book, Machiavellian Gambit. What do you have to say? I won't say much. All yours now.
Okay, well, first of all, congratulations, sir, on having your book published. And also, hello to all the people here, my dear friend, Melissa Begley, Mr. Dr. Manoj Patel, and of course, Shiju, who's not here. And I just want to say, first of all, that wasn't a book that won the awards at Action on Film. It was my screenplay, my short screenplay, The Kiss. But thank you, Ms. Zomi. I just want to say, I read a few things about your book, sir, and I'm very interested in reading it. I think corruption in politics is one of the things that is destroying democracy. And we have gone through several years of somebody who was very corrupt and who tried to destroy our democracy. And the thing about democracy is that if people band together and try to keep it in its proper condition, then you can't destroy it, because it's a force that is larger than the evil thoughts of men or women. And I just say that if we continue to defend democracy, then it will stay in the world. If you don't defend it, if you don't educate people, if you don't create the environment for democracy, it won't be there. And a lot of people are, they have this motivation for greed, and greed is something that will eat you from the inside. And I'm very interested in reading your book because this character sounds like somebody who is going through a lot of aggravation, and being a novelist myself, I love when people are being tortured in a book. So I love to read about that. And I also like political novels, so I'm very interested in that. So I haven't read your book. I read a little bit about your book, but I'm looking forward to it. And I really think that this subject is something that if you put it in fiction and people read about it, they're going to understand more about democracy. A lot of people in our country, not a lot, but some do not understand democracy. They really would rather have an autocratic government. And so they tend to go to a patriarchal people who will tell them what to do. And we don't want that in our country. We've always been a country where people are allowed to have their own beliefs and who are allowed to interact the way they want. And we exist on compromise. And so I think that a book about corruption in politics is going to be a big bestseller here. And I wish you lots of luck, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Yes, this book would be a bestseller, and we will put all efforts to make it a bestseller. Uh, Ashish, sir, just again coming back to you, what inspired you to write this book, and would you elaborate the title of your book? Why have you chosen Machiavellian Gambit as the title of your book, so that our audience who are watching and our guests also get an idea about the title of the book?
Yeah, absolutely. And Machiavellian, again, this is a schemer, right? That's the whole idea, is like how you can uh, have the means justify the end, right? The bad means that you take, uh, especially in politics. And Gambit is like, your actions, your things that you do, especially to gain an advantage. So it just came through, like, in my mind, the politicians across the globe that we see, as Barbara mentioned, there's this whole idea actually. If you look at democracy index, right, the democracy across the globe is actually going down, and because of leaders who actually do use Machiavellian and tactics to actually influence people, scheme, and make people actually believe in falsehoods and whatnot. So that it felt so appropriate that this, you can actually slap that title on any leader that you think is actually taking democracy down, and it just fit right in, right? And it's across the globe. I'm not like saying in the countries that we are from, but you can go anywhere in countries who call themselves so-called democracies. You have similar kind of leaders across the globe. So it felt like that was the character that I actually put together and talk about in this. It's again this whole idea of, hey, you come with a very good intention because you want to change something, but you get into this uh, political system and there's no way out to essentially get the right things done. And then you start tasting the power, you feel so powerful, you actually transform yourself to become one of those that you detested to begin with, right? And that is the whole narrative of this story.
Thank you so much, the audience watching us now, perhaps because somebody just texted me on WhatsApp. Please ask me, what's the title about? Like, okay, I'll ask the author. So we have, I think Shiju sir has joined. Prior to that, Melissa ma'am is here. I'm cutting short all your bios. Please apologies because our author has an appointment at 8 p.m. And we had to do this launch today because tomorrow I'm going to pack my house. So Melissa ma'am is here. She's from the USA, and she is from a non-medical profession in the healthcare community. And she is again an award-winning poet. She has written innumerable poems, and she has been honored with many prestigious awards and recognition. The list is endless. So when we Google her name or when we know we attend, she also many programs with Barbara ma'am. She is also serves as an administrator and co-founder in many poetry forums, and she also serves as an illustrator, and she's an executive member of motivational strips. Thank you so much, Melissa ma'am, and thank you everyone here. I'm cutting short all your bios. Apologies. Melissa ma'am, you have gone through Sir's book. What do you have to say today?
Well, thank you for the invitation and best wishes, dear sir. I find the topic to be extremely intriguing. You know, politics, regardless of whether it's the USA or India or anywhere in the world, connects all of us. And I thought it was wonderful that you're well versed in the politics in India and the United States. And when you mentioned the architect, I immediately thought of Karl Rove, who was the architect of the George Bush when he was president, and also the alleged brains behind the George Bush administration. Now, my parents started me listening to politics and being engaged in politics probably when I was 6 years of age. So I've always found it to be very interesting. And at one time when I was more youthful, when I went out and I voted for a candidate, I was so enthused and so uplifted and thinking that the world was going to change because the person I voted for had an opportunity to make a difference. But I no longer have that thought process. I have become very disappointed in politics. You know, I find that both of our parties in the United States are corrupt, filled with a lot of darkness, filled with a lot of politicians that are being bought and paid for by lobbyists, sometimes outside countries. And sometimes a lot of money is infused from people who are not citizens of the United States. And I believe your book, when you mentioned that there's a very dark, seedy side filled with greed and power with the political system and with politicians. And I also found it interesting that your book was about an individual that was behind the scenes, like Karl Rove, that was pulling the strings. And I think that's always been the case probably with the political system. And I just think your book is fascinating. Unfortunately, I'm not as aware of other countries' politics as much as I am my own. So I do not comment about other countries unless I was a little bit more well educated. But I find your book intriguing, and I really cannot wait to purchase the book and read the book in its entirety, because this is something that impacts all of us. And you know, when you have countries that are corrupt, and especially the larger countries in the world, you know, it's devastation for each and every one of us. And congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much, Melissa ma'am, for your enlightening words. Yes, politics and the dark side. One question to Ashish sir. Sir, like, you know, when you talk about politics, what do you think? Is there any chance of fair play in politics?
Any chance of what? Fair?
Fair, when if we talk about politics, can there be actually fair game in politics? Is there
Absolutely.
some word called?
Yeah, no. So this is the interesting part, right? The people that we admire in last, let's say, just take a century, right? Across the globe, the people that we admire are the ones who actually have made with a very positive change in people's life. They were politicians like MLK, Gandhi, right? They are the people and they are the ones who are known, right? You know, these Machiavellian kind of politicians, they come and go. People don't even remember their name, right? So the purity, the fairness, in long term, right, truth always would win, right? You know, when we are in that space of short term, we can only see so far. We feel scared that, hey, you know, is the falsehood, is the badness of humans, the kind of politicians that we get now, we always scared that, hey, nothing is fair. But if you just expand that horizon to century, you'll see actually there are politicians who have made the right choices at the right time to impact lives of thousands and millions of people across the globe. So I honestly believe that truth, the good, like goodness of the heart would always win, be it politician or otherwise. And power to those politicians who actually against all odds would never, you know, divert from their belief of goodness. And they are the ones we actually even can name and remember. Right? They're few, but at least we know them, right?
Right, right. So here we have with us Shiju sir. Sorry, sir, I pulled you out of your office. Shiju sir is a very, very important personality in the world of literature because he is a pillar holding up the world's, largest writing forum. Shiju H. Pallitazheth is the founder of Motivational Scripts, the world's most active writers forum. This forum has associations with many government literary institutions and is vital authority in poetry and literature worldwide. The writers here are from more than 190 countries and has monthly impressions crossing 7 million. So I had a special reason. I'm very selfish. Yes, I had a special reason for inviting Shiju sir here. Yes, because I want my books to reach millions of people. And Shiju sir, I know, he is a pillar who has been motivating writers from almost all the countries. And when I say that, yes, I'm a member of MS, that means I'm associated with millions of writers. So, Sir is also the president of the World's Nations Writers Union. He has authored two best-selling books, Katashi Tales and The Ghost Wisdom. Katashi Tales is my favorite. And he has received, again, a Collar of Honor from Gujarat Sahitya Academy last year for his meritorious contributions to national and international literature. He is a widely known motivational speaker. You can hear him speaking in the Toastmaster programs and all. If you have heard about Toastmaster, he is again a well-known speaker there, and his list of achievements endless. I won't speak so much because again, when we Google, we will find his name. He is always in the media. Tejo sir, what do you have to say today? Sorry, sir, I pulled you out. I know you're busy.
See, first and foremost, I would like to, from the bottom of my heart, apologize to all of you that being an office working day, I never expected that I would actually be able to make it even at this time. But then still, Ashish Jaiman is a very important personality, is what Mousmi told me. So, she wanted me particularly to be there for this launch. And then, when she says something, I can't say no. I mean, it's like that. Anyway, leaving all the ideology of about what has been spoken about me regarding my leadership roles or the Writers Union or anything as such, the most important thing is, like I said yesterday, I would like to repeat the same. We are all writers. At the end of the day, that is what matters. We keep on writing, and whatever comes along, we garner it. That's how life goes on, I never wanted to be a founder of a writers union or a president of a writers union. I kept on writing and things came that way, and it kept garnering. It's like that wheel keeping on adding more and more dust, and then finally we don't know. We are all born, and then at the end we have to either go as ashes or back to the mud as soil, So that's how it is like. So life is all about how we live every day. That momentary things is what matters. Ashish Jaiman, first and foremost, there was something which really hit me very hard on your title, the Machiavellian Gambit. If the moment we think about the Machiavellian political theory, the first thing that comes to my mind is cunning, evil methodology, and then trying to garner access and advantage over people. Because that is what the Machiavellian theory itself is, that the end, at the end, whatever is the end, that justifies the means. So yes. No matter you hurt somebody, no matter you hurt somebody, no matter you insult somebody, no matter you defame somebody, or no matter you try to annul a community, but at the end, the whatever is the end, that justifies the process. A very cruel methodology rather, but it's good that you have touched upon a very interesting subject, because I'm sure many readers would love to read it. Because today, current scenario, I would rather say there is politics in each of us. Let me be very practical. Let me be very honest with all of you. There is political inclination in each of us. Whether we be saying that I'm not into politics, I'm not into this, but there are political inclinations. Some are good and some are evil. Let's differentiate it in that way. We all have inclination to do good, or we have inclination to do evil deeds. One of this has to happen. And how does that happen is what is your book is all about, manipulation, trying to access. I read that Sanjay Gandhi, sorry, I think there was a political, a centralist who had handed over the responsibility to Ajay Singh. And then as he grew up the ranks, in the initial phase, he was very honest. I'm sure he would have done a lot of good things for people. He wanted people to prosper. And then later on, he found it very difficult because his number of enemies would have grown. This is how the system works. I'm telling you very honestly. Mousami, I'm sure you know that running a writers forum itself is so difficult. There might be people who say Shiju is good. There might be people who say, why did you, listen to what Shiju said? He has black magic. He has white magic. He comes and speaks. You people all fall for his funda. This all happens everywhere. I'm not denying this. I'm being very honest and practical. And such books actually is needed in the society. Ashish Jaiman, such books are needed in the society because people, more than the ideologies, they should have awareness of what all things can happen. When does politics become a problem for the public? Politics become a problem for the public when it is hurting a larger mass. For example, the end justifies the means. I don't know what is there in Putin's mind, or I don't know what is there in that Zelensky's mind, and I don't know what is there in our American Uncle Joe Biden's mind. But the end, they are all waiting for the end. But on what cost? On what cost? The world economy is what has been taken at risk, So you have brought this book at a very right time, because this is the time when people are looking into what's going to happen tomorrow, because politically things are in a very bad doldrum today. I hate actually talking about politics, because being a literary, I believe a lot into meditation, trying to do good deeds for people, because we have only one small life, very, very, very short, teeny weeny life we have. And in that teeny weeny life, you can imagine how many things we were. I was telling Mousmi today a while ago. So I was appointed as assistant director for Area 18 for Toastmasters International, a public speaking skill worldwide known. But then, I was very clear to the director. I said, if you are happy by keeping my name over there, I don't have any objection, but don't expect me to do any work, because I'm already packed up. So see, now, why did she use the name? Maybe there are political reasons for that. Anyway, as long as it is not hurting my sentiments and it's not going to hurt anybody, I don't really care. So politics is something where we can put it in two ways. Either we do good deeds to people, which is very difficult in current scenario. I'm telling you, because that Ajay Singh, who was handed over the responsibility, if you would have noticed I don't know how far, I have not read the complete book, but I'm just guessing it out. I'm sure he was a good person at the beginning, right? Right, Ashish Gamian? He did good things in the beginning, tried to win the people. Yeah. And then later on, in a later stage, I'm sure he would have, see, I've not read the book, but I can get the gist of it, because I'm into a lot of watching politics, what is happening, and I know how the scenario will change. Later, he found that doing good to people, he would have garnered, I'm sure, at least 1 million enemies, around. Because when you try to do good to people, it is affecting somebody whose evil practices are going on. If Mousami tries to do some good things in publication, it is definitely not going to, be music to the ears of your competitors, Mousami. They will also think of ways, oh my God, this lady, I don't know from where, so somewhere she came, and then Griffin publication is touching the sky today. I'm telling you, because I know Griffin has grown over the period of years, it has grown really well. And now Mousami will come into a situation where, under pressure, under situations, she will also have to sometimes go into a situation where some people have to be bribed. I don't know whether you'll do that or we will not do that. But What happens in the general situation is, I know that I don't know whether I'm disclosing the book, but to be very honest, I feel that this is a relatable subject. And this is what can actually make this a bestseller. If you ask me from, I'm also a management professional. I do a lot of marketing activities also. I do branding, I'm also business heading some of the projects. So I know if you ask me from a marketing perspective, I love this concept. And first of all, that Machiavellian, I'm sure many people would find it difficult to pronounce, but they would still wonder, what is this? Let me find out what it is. Now, if Mausami and Ashish can place it in the right segments, it would be an easy bestseller. Because I'm sure I read your blurb also. Blurb is awesome. I mean, the way you have, in simple terms, you have described, and you have ended at a curiosity where people will, have that thirst, to know more what's going to happen next. So these are things which have been very evidently put on the blurb of the book. And Ashish Jaiman, I know that this is your first novel because I could know it from the blurb. I'll be very honest with all of you. So it's going to be a first novel. But I feel that you have garnered quite enough stuff which is required to explain the Machiavellian theory, because it's a very broad theory.
Yes.
If you look into that theory, you will remember all the villains, what you'll see in the movies. But those villains will be all smiling when it comes to politics. Have you ever seen a politician frowning? All the politicians will smile, but maybe they have a dagger with them. Maybe they have an AK-56 with them. We never come to know. And that is what helps them to sustain in the society. So I'm really very, very happy to be here. And of course, I'm also very happy to know that despite that you're working in a software company like or a hardware company like Microsoft, you still taken your time out to live your passion. To live one's passion is something which is very difficult in this current scenario, because I'm also professional, and I find it very difficult to weed out some of the time from my busy schedule. But still, because of the love for literature, we all do it. And I'm sure all of you seated over here, you have your own professions, and I know it's very difficult to weed out time. So I'll not take much more time. The book is really awesome. I haven't even read it, but definitely I will read that book. And the subject is something which is of interest to me. I have this habit of touching upon whether it's a story of an infant or whether it's a story of it's a fable, folk tale, up to the political system, or whether it is philosophical. That's what, like, at the end of the day today, if you have to survive, you have to be the jack of all trades. So every genre, makes a huge impact on us today. And of course, Ashish Jaiman being a voracious reader before writing this novel, I'm sure you would have been a jack of all trades when it comes to choosing genre. And maybe this is something which attracted you, because a lot of humor can be added when it is politics. Politics means comedy today. If you ask me, today, if you look at the political system, there is, if you want to get the extreme end of that kind of, comic situations, politics is the best subject to write about. Anyway, first and foremost, my heartfelt congratulations to you on this book. Of course, you can, Mausami, you can put Ashish to motivational strips also. I want some people like this. So it's coming in. And, it will also, you both can spread the awareness of this book. I will also put in my little bit of effort on that. And I really pray earnestly, because last time Guru Srinivas book, I was present and it became a bestseller. So similarly, I expect Ashish Jaiman's book also to be a bestseller. And of course, you have lucky mascots like Barbara and Melissa, and then we have Dr. Manoj and all here. So these are all going to be lucky mascot for you. But at the end of the thing is that your luckiest mascot is that it's a relatable subject. So wishing you all the best, with lots of love and affection for all of you. And my once again apology for the delay in making out for this meeting. I pass it on to the next person. Whoever Mausami is going to designate next to speak. Thank you.
It's time we formally release Sir's Ashish Jaiman's book, Machiavellian Gambit. And it's time to celebrate the grand wedding again, as Sir said. Can you see the cover page? Isn't that beautiful? And
Yes.
can we hear your applause and claps? We formally launched and released Machiavellian Gambit by Ashish Jaiman. The book is available internationally on Amazon, and it will be available as KDP ebook very soon. And please grab your copy today. And I would love if you write a few lines as a review and make our author happy. Congratulations, Ashish sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. And thanks for all
Congratulations.
your support.
Congratulations.
Sir,
Ashish.
yes, Ashish sir, last question because 8 o'clock you have a meeting. What
Yes.
is your next plan? Are you planning to write your next?
So I have a few ideas. I'm a romantic by heart as well. So I'm gonna maybe go into a love story. The other thing that as Shiju said, is most of us, every one of us is a writer, but we read a lot as well. So the other thing I'm trying to explore is some inspiration from the religious texts of India mythology and somehow bring everything together in a romantic novel with that kind of thing. So thanks all. I really appreciate the hard work and your kind words and everything that you're doing to support me. Thank you.
Heartiest congratulations, sir, once again for this wonderful book. I wish this book would be a bestseller. And yes, all my lucky mascots are here today. That is why I told you, sir is right. Somewhere or other, we become selfish when we want us and our books to do good. And that is why I never miss to, for special book launches, I never miss to invite my mascots. Thank you so much, sir. Heartiest congratulations. Thank you for watching us. We will meet again with another important book, interesting book. And again, I wish all of you, I request all of you to grab this copy, Machiavellian Gambit. And when you read this, you will know how intriguing the story is. Heartiest congratulations, sir. Thank you
Thank,
so much, Shiju sir, Barbara ma'am, Melissa ma'am, and Dr. Manoj Patel.
thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.